Good evening, USC Price Class of 2025. It's a pleasure to be here. It's remarkable how times like this arrive all at once and then ask us to slow down. This isn't just a ceremony, it's a rare chance to recognize the weight of this moment and to honor what it took to get here. Before anything else, I want to say thank you to the professors who challenged us to think critically and to lead with integrity, to the staff whose steady work created the conditions for our growth, often without the recognition they deserve, to the family and friends who stood beside us. Thank you for your patience, your encouragement, and your unwavering belief that we'd make it to this stage. This degree may have our names on it, but it belongs to every hand that lifted us up along the way. To my classmates, thank you, not just for your contributions at the Trojan Network, but for the kind of people you chose to be during your time here at Price. You remind me that community isn't declared, it's demonstrated. It's built through presence, in the way you extended grace, not for recognition, but because it's what you'd hope someone would do for you. You made this a space for others to speak from experience, not just expertise, and that matters. And in the quiet ways you showed up, for each other, for your communities, you didn't wait for that permission to lead. When I committed to USC Price 2 years ago, I told my family I would make the most of it. I thought that meant mastering the coursework, but what changed me most wasn't learning how systems work, it was understanding why people fight to change them, and it was you who taught me that. Each person here carries a story entirely their own, and I've been shaped by your stories and your purpose in ways I never could have imagined. Each story reminded me that what this work is really for. Behind each story is a lived experience, something that hurt, something that inspired, something that called you to act. Being surrounded by that kind of purpose changed how I think, how I lead, and how I hope to show up in this world. We didn't come to Price just to learn policy. We came to understand what it means to shape it, to question it, and to live with the responsibility that comes with both. The lessons that stayed weren't the ones we turned in, they were the ones we wrestled with, the ones that made us uncomfortable, that made us ask better questions, ask more questions, be more curious. That's what Price taught me. To stay curious, even when it's easier not to be. To sit with uncertainty, not as a failure, but as the beginning of something honest. Because in LA, you can't turn a corner without understanding the impacts of policy and the importance of community. Here, policy is not theoretical, it's not neutral. Policy is all around us, in housing, in health, in history, in who is heard and who is not. Because that truth demands more than knowledge, it demands that this work be lived. Policy is conflict, and it's supposed to be. It's where values meet, where visions clash, where compromise is messy, but necessary. We weren't trained to avoid conflict. We were trained to enter it with clarity and conviction. We learned that disagreement isn't a weakness, it's a sign that we're engaged. It's a beautiful thing to have these different opinions, because real leadership isn't about being right, it's about being responsible. It's about listening well, responding with care, and knowing when to challenge the silence in the room. And always understanding the notion that every policy has a person affected by it, a story that deserves to be heard, a consequence. Let us never forget that. Many of us arrived here at Price full of hope and full of urgency, but hope is not a guarantee, it's a discipline. It's what you practice when you're sitting in a city council meeting at 9 p.m. and there are no cameras, no applause, but the work still matters. It's what you practice when a community invites you in, not because you have the answers, but because you're willing to listen. And through years of relentless learning, we discovered it's not about having the perfect answers. It's about being willing to sit with the hard questions over and over again and keep on choosing to act. We learned that institutions don't change because of degrees or job titles, they change because of the courage. Because someone decided to speak up, show up, and build institutions worthy of the people they are meant to serve. Because someone somewhere believed that change was possible and was bold enough to begin. We are those someones already. Let this not be the end of our education, but the beginning of our impact. So let's leave here not with answers, but with questions bold enough to change everything. If policy is how we shape the world, then let ours be shaped with courage, because we are not waiting for permission to lead. We are those someones now. Congratulations, USC Price Class of 2025. Thank you, and fight on.